I died, but not completely. Here's what happened. I was riding a rented little electric scooter when the brakes suddenly failed and I slammed right into the vehicle in front. Everything went black before my eyes, and my last thought was, it's over. I still haven't spent my 200 yuan savings. When I opened my eyes again, above me was a roof made of thick wooden beams, and the walls were pasted with newspapers. Beneath me was a hard earthen Kong bed, and the ground was uneven dirt. I pinched the inside of my thigh. It hurt. It really hurt. Not a dream. Then I quickly lifted my clothes to check. Thank goodness, my moonlight cable kidney was still there. Then my head started feeling like it was being stabbed with needles, and a flood of unfamiliar memories poured in. It hurt so much I howled for quite a while. After I recovered, I stared at the roof and finally accepted one fact. I had transmigrated. 1959, Li Family Village in He Province, northeast China. The original owner was also called Li Youcai, 16 years old. And in modern times, I was also a kid from the countryside of He Province. Is this fate? But this was 1959, right in the middle of hard times. I looked down at my body, thin as a stick, barely any flesh on my limbs, with every rib clearly visible. I sighed, put on those worn cloth shoes with the big toe sticking out, and pushed the door open to go outside. There were only 3 shabby adobe rooms in the house. The windows were pasted with old newspapers, and the yard was completely bare. Mom and Dad had probably both gone to work in the fields. My little sister Xiaoya was only 8, and had also gone to dig for wild vegetables. I stood in the middle of the yard, my feelings all mixed up. In modern times, my parents divorced when I was 2 and dumped me on my grandparents. The 2 of them went on with their own lives and forgot all about me. After my grandparents passed away, I became completely alone in the world. This place might be poor, but the air really is good, and there's family here. Just as I was sighing with emotion, my stomach let out an uncooperative growl. I walked to the kitchen and lifted the pot lid. And there was actually 1 egg and 2 sweet potatoes inside. Being able to eat these at a time like this was truly a rare privilege. After eating, I carefully sorted through the original owner's memories. The original owner had learned hunting from his godfather since childhood. Yesterday, he took a fall in the mountains, hit his head, and died. Just that unlucky. Then I came. I figured, if I'd transmigrated, I ought to have some kind of cheat ability, right? A pocket dimension with a spirit spring, a system shop, something like that. Isn't that how it always goes in novels? I rummaged all over the room, looking for some ancestral item, some special birthmark, and found absolutely nothing. I flopped down on the Kong, spread myself out like a big character, and thought, forget it, I'll just rot. Whoever wants this crappy transmigration can have it. Just when I was utterly done with life, a ding sounded in my mind. Want to rise above the rest? Want to soar to the top? Want your name to go down in history? Come on, come on. Hurry up and bind to our great pie-in-the-sky system. I shot upright. It's here. It's here. It came carrying the system. There was only one button on the screen. Yes. There was no other choice at all. I took a deep breath and clicked it. Welcome, host. Congratulations on successfully binding to pie-in-the-sky system number 033. The system told me there would be an assessment every 5 years, with elimination rules. The bottom 3 hosts in performance will be sent to a garbage planet to pick trash. But the reward for the top 3, in ranking order, is 1 month of time travel to any time in any plane. Can I go to the cultivation world? Of course you can. I got so excited my face turned red. Flying on a sword. Living 10,000 years. Raising a hand and making heaven and earth collapse. I even want to bring an atomic bomb back to before the little Japs invasion. And blow the whole island to pieces. Ahem, host. The system spoke up and interrupted my fantasy. I came back to my senses and wiped the corner of my mouth. That pie it painted almost made me choke to death. The system continued explaining the rules. The basic mission is to unlock all categories in the store and complete a transaction volume of 100 billion points. There is a 3-month newbie protection period, after which real-time rankings will be announced. The original owner went to another world to do missions. As payment, he advanced points to give me a 50 square meter static storage space, on the condition that I treat his family well and help them get through the famine years. I immediately began studying the marketplace. The buyer interface had 7 categories, all grayed out. The food category and daily necessities category cost 10,000 points to unlock, agriculture 50,000, machinery 100,000, and the technology category, space farm, and space ranch 1 million each. The seller interface could recycle original ecological animals and plants, gold, silver, jade, and antiques, calligraphy, and paintings. At the very top was the bright red transaction amount, temporarily all zero. I opened the newbie gift pack, 100 points plus a 7-day special flash sale. Today's flash sale was eggs and orchard chickens. 1 point per gene, limited to 5 gene each. I bought everything I could and put it all into the storage space. At that moment, little Youcai came running back. The little girl was skinny, her hair dry and yellow, her clothes covered in patches, but her eyes were sparkling. "Brother, are you better yet? Can we have Mom make wild vegetable buns for lunch?" She looked at me with longing in her eyes. I patted her head. "Okay, I'll tell Mom." The little girl was overjoyed. At noon, Dad, Mom, and third sister came back from work. As soon as Wang Fengyun came in, she reached over to feel my forehead. "Why are you up? Are you feeling any better?" "Mom, I'm fine now, all better." I said it without the slightest burden. Since I had promised the original owner, they were my family. Lunch was wild vegetable buns with pickles. The buns were bitter and scratched my throat, and I had to stretch my neck to swallow them. I gave one bun to little Ya, then broke another in half for Mom and third sister. Wang Fengyun tried to stop me, but when I said I really couldn't eat any more, she finally gave up. "Mom, do we still have any mountain goods at home?" I asked. "There's still a little dried mushrooms and mountain walnuts." "Why?" "I heard from a classmate that in other places, even the tree bark has been eaten clean. Tomorrow I want to go to the county town and see if I can trade for some grain." Wang Fengyun sighed and said nothing. What else could anyone do at a time like this? In the afternoon, they all went back to work, and I went up the mountain too. Now that I had the storage space, if I couldn't beat something, I could still hide. Holding a stick, I walked while beating the grass and checked several traps, all of them empty. When I got close to the last trap, I heard snorting sounds from inside. I stood on tiptoe to look, and good grief, it was a huge wild boar. It saw me too, and its tusks were frantically digging at the trap. Without a second word, I jabbed the stick at it. Store. The wild boar disappeared. I had just breathed a sigh of relief when snorting came from behind me again. I turned around, and another wild boar charged straight at me. I hurriedly rolled to the side, jabbed it with the stick, and stored it. Behind it was a little wild boar weighing 30 or 40 gene, and it slammed right into me. So I took advantage of the moment to store it too. Lying on the ground and gasping for air, I went over what had just happened. Too impulsive. The moment I spotted the second one, I should have gone straight into the storage space. I was almost rammed to death. After resting a while, I kept going forward. On the way down the mountain, I chased a rabbit and fell flat on my face, nearly knocking out my front teeth. Fortunately, the instant the stick touched the rabbit, I was quick enough to store it in the space. Sitting on the ground and catching my breath, I glanced into the grass by accident. Little red flower? 5 petals standing upright, with slender stamens in the middle. Ginseng. I squatted down and looked carefully. It really was ginseng. I directly stored it in the space. I went into the marketplace to see how much it could sell for. 2 wild boars, 516 gene total, 30 points per gene, 15,480 points in all. A 30-year wild ginseng weighing 2 liang, 500,000 points. I stared wide-eyed at the zeros after wild ginseng. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. 500,000. 500,000. I was so excited I almost kowtowed to Heavenly Tao Dad. Sell everything. The bright red number at the top of the marketplace jumped. Unlocked the food category, daily necessities category, agriculture category, and machinery category. It cost nearly 170,000 points in total. Painful. I opened the food category, and it was like a food delivery app with delicacies from all over the country. Pig trotters, roast chicken, crispy pork belly. Buddha jumps over the wall. My tears flowed uncontrollably from the corner of my mouth. I bought a pig trotter and kept browsing while gnawing on it. Grain was the most important thing. Rice and flour were 5 points per gene, while cornmeal cost 10 points. I bought a box of strawberries for third sister and little Ya. When I got home, I skinned the rabbit, took out the flash sale chicken too, and chopped everything into small pieces, filling a huge basin. When little Ya came back and saw it, she was dumbfounded. Where did all this meat come from? Your brother here hunted it in the mountains. Hurry up and start the fire. Your brother's going to stew some meat for you. Little Ya swallowed and then worried. If Mom finds out you made this much meat, she'll definitely beat you to death. Then are you eating or not? If not, go find Mom. Eat, eat, eat. Brother, you're the best brother ever. Little Ya quickly got the fire going. I poured all the meat into the pot, then peeled more than a dozen potatoes, filling the whole pot. Top-notch ingredients often call for the simplest cooking method, just salt. But the whole house was filled with fragrance. Little Ya wrinkled her little nose, looking utterly blissful. I handed her the strawberries. Pick them in the mountains. Eat them with third sister later. Little Ye ate one and kept exclaiming how sweet it was. On the way back from work, third sister asked Wang Fengyun, Mom, whose family is stewing meat? Why does it smell so good? When they got to the doorway, they realized the aroma was coming from their own home. A few villagers craned their necks, trying to peek in, but Wang Fengyun directly drove them away. My boy caught a rabbit in the mountains. There's not much, so we're not keeping any for you. Once the crowd dispersed, Wang Fengyun hurriedly checked me over. You little spendthrift, you just got hurt yesterday and you still dared to go up the mountain today? I'm fine, Mom. Yesterday was an accident. The traps have to be checked every day, or someone else will take the prey. How could that do? Those are our family's traps. Third sister and Little Ye said in unison. Wang Fengyun said earnestly, then you have to be careful. The prey isn't as important as you. Mom has only one son, you. Don't worry, Mom. I've only got one good mother too. I acted spoiled with Wang Fengyun. Clearly, she was very susceptible to this, and she tapped my head and said to Li Taiju, see, it still has to be my son. After all these years with you, let alone a rabbit, I haven't even seen a single rabbit hair. And you two girls need to appreciate your eldest brother too. In the future, when you're with your in-laws, you'll have to rely on your brother. Several people got caught in the crossfire for no reason. Little Ye proudly brought out a basin of strawberries. Third sister ate one. So sweet. She hurriedly asked her younger brother, did you get these too? Youcai nodded smugly. You're amazing. I've never had strawberries this sweet before. Little Ye gave a few to Li Taiju too. Li Taiju also kept nodding as he ate. At that moment, a howl came from the kitchen. Youcai and Little Ye exchanged a look, as if to say, see? Mom's definitely going to go crazy when she sees this. Wang Fengyun rushed out, took off her shoe, and came at Youcai with the sole in her hand. You damn brat, you actually stewed a whole pot of meat. Are we not going to live tomorrow? Wang Fengyun was furious. A whole pot. If it were salted and cured, putting out 2 pieces per meal would make it last half a year. But this dead child stewed it all. She was furious to death, and for the moment, she didn't care about her precious good son anymore. Youcai dodged while explaining, Mom, call Grandpa and Grandma over to eat too. They even brought me eggs yesterday. When Youcai was injured yesterday, the old lady brought over all the dozen-odd eggs from her own home that evening. Even if everyone comes to eat, you still don't need this much. Who would dare eat like this? Wang Fengyun wouldn't listen to his explanation and kept chasing him. Youcai hid behind Li Taiju, and Wang Fengyun's shoe sole smacked Li Taiju several times. The mother and son were both doing it on purpose. In the end, Li Taiju bore it all. Mom, listen to me. There's still more meat, Youcai quickly said. Wang Fengyun stopped waving her shoe and asked, really? Where? Youcai quickly lowered his voice and said there was also a small wild boar, 40 or 50 gene, and I hit it. The old couple exchanged a glance. You weren't hurt, were you? Don't worry, no. It fell into a trap and was stabbed to death by spikes. Even so, we still can't eat like this next time. We have to live our days little by little, Wang Fengyun muttered, while Li Taiju was grinning happily. As long as there's meat to eat, that's enough. His eldest son is still the capable one. He even forgot about being beaten. Third girl, go call your grandparents and your third uncle's family over, Wang Fengyun instructed. Okay, Mom. After a while, Grandpa and Grandma, third uncle and third aunt, and the 2 cousins from third uncle's family all came. Third uncle was called Li Xuanju, third aunt was called Lu Dahua, and the 2 cousins. The older one was 15 years old, called Li Dayuan, and the younger one was 6 years old, called Li Xiaoyuan. The names were really chosen that casually. The old lady trotted over and took Li Youcai's hand, calling him her precious darling over and over, praising her eldest grandson for being so promising. Old man Li also stroked his beard and kept nodding. So the power of the youngest son and eldest grandson really is true, as the old saying goes. Dayuan and Xiaoyuan also circled around Li Youcai, their little eyes full of envy and admiration. Big brother, how are you so amazing? Can you teach me? Xiaoyuan asked with a grin. Sure, when you're a little older. Big brother will teach you, okay? Big brother, I knew you were the best, the most amazing. Xiaoyuan fawned as he flattered him. Hearing this, Dayuan quickly said, Big brother, I'm older. I can learn. Before Li Youcai could reply, old lady Li gave him a loving smack. Do you have your brother's brains? You want to learn everything. Behave yourself. Third uncle and third aunt also chimed in, thinking the old lady was right. Their eldest son really wasn't very quick-witted. Li Youcai gave Dayuan a helpless look. Dayuan, baby is suffering inside, but baby won't say it. Time to eat. 2 big basins, with soup and dishes together. The moment old lady Li saw it, she immediately gave Li Taiju a whack. Are you not planning to live anymore, making so much? But her eyes were looking at Wang Fengyun as she asked, Grandma, I made it, not my mom. She scolded me too when she came back, Li Youcai quickly admitted. My eldest grandson made it. Even so, this kind of waste won't do. I'm telling you, eldest grandson, people outside have even run out of tree bark to eat. We really have to be more frugal. The old lady's attitude took a full 180-degree turn as she spoke earnestly. I know. Grandma, I also caught a small wild boar and I hid it. I'll go get it when it gets dark. Don't worry, Grandma. Let's all have a good meal together. Good. My eldest grandson is still the promising one. In my old Li family, Youcai is the one most like me, Old Man Li said slowly. We've finally gotten to enjoy the blessings of our children and grandchildren, the old lady said cheerfully, her eyes sweeping over her two sons, Li Taiju, Li Xuanju. Old Man Li took out half a bottle of liquor from his coat, and the father and sons each had a cup. Looking at De Yuan, Xia Yuan, and little girl, their eyes were glowing green as they stared at the meat in the basins. Old Lady Li announced that the meal had begun. The whole family started eating like a whirlwind, every one of them with a look of satisfaction on their face. Third uncle sighed that even during New Year they hadn't eaten so heartily as they did today. The two big basins were cleaned out, and even the vegetable soup in them was wiped up with flatbread. After the meal, a group of people chatted in the courtyard. The men talked about national affairs, the women talked about village gossip, and the children shared strawberries. It was a picture of peaceful years. It was completely dark. Grandpa and Grandma, third uncle and third aunt, wait a little before heading back and help clean up the wild boar. I'll go get it now. Okay, let Diane go help you carry it, third aunt said forthrightly. The two of them walked to the edge of the mountain. Li Youcai told Diane to wait there while he went to look for which patch of grass he had hidden it in. It was a bit hard to see in the dark. De Yuan obediently stood there, and Li Youcai found a thick wooden stick. He walked dozens of meters farther in. Once De Yuan was out of sight, he slipped into the space, killed the little wild boar, and took it out of the space. Then he and De Yuan took turns carrying it back home. Wang Fengyun and Lu Dahua had already boiled the water. Old Man Li, Li Taiju, and Li Xuanju started butchering it. After removing the head, hooves, and offal, there were still a bit over 30 jin of meat left. Half of it was given to the old couple. Grandpa and Grandma, third uncle and third aunt refused to take it, saying that having had a meal was enough and they couldn't take any home. Wang Fengyun forcibly stuffed it into third aunt's hands. Take it. This is from your grandson, your nephew, to honor you. Then Grandpa and Grandma launched into another round of praise. After everyone left, Li Youcai said to Wang Fengyun, Mom, help me take out the mountain goods. I'll go to the county town tomorrow and have a look. If no one wants them, I'll give them to my classmate and ask him to help me keep an eye out for any recruitment exams. Okay, don't go out to trade them away. It's pretty dangerous. Just give them directly to your classmate. They can't help for nothing, Wang Fengyun said. Li Taiju nodded in agreement. Brother, are you going to the county town? What is the county town like? Xiaoya asked with a face full of longing. Third sister also looked at him eagerly. When I have time, I'll take you two there to look around, Li Youcai said cheerfully to the two of them. You want to go everywhere, do you have money? Get lost, Wang Fengyun shouted. Seeing Xiaoya's aggrieved expression, Li Youcai comforted her. In a few days I'll take you there. Mom will go too. Xiaoya immediately cheered up and circled around Li Youcai, flattering him. Wang Fengyun glared at the kids. It wasn't that Wang Fengyun was mean. Rural people at this time couldn't even grow enough grain to feed themselves, and a whole family's work points for an entire year only amounted to a dozen or so yuan, and they didn't even have ration coupons. After a good night's sleep, facing the morning sun, Li Youcai breathed in the fresh air of the mountains and forests and set off for the county town. On the way, he sold the mountain goods in his basket to the marketplace. The prices were extremely impressive. Pure natural, pollution-free wild black goji berries, 1.1 jin, 150 points per jin. Pure natural, pollution-free wild mixed mushrooms, 2.5 jin, 180 points per jin. Pure natural, pollution-free wild dried wood ear mushrooms, 0.8 jin, 200 points per jin. Pure natural, pollution-free wild mountain walnuts, 5 jin, 110 points per jin. Pure natural wild dried blueberries, 0.5 jin, 240 points per jin. These really are wild, green, healthy foods, so valuable. Selling everything brought in a total of 1445 points. Then he bought 2 canned fruit from the marketplace, spending 40 points, and put them into the space, planning to take them to his classmate's home later along with flatbread. Today's marketplace transaction amount, 1,485 points. Total transaction amount, 517,145 points. Remaining points, 343,895. Ranking, not yet unlocked. On the way, he also bought 4 buns from the marketplace and ate as he walked, all the while thinking how great it would be if all the mountain goods from the village could be sold to it. He could earn a large sum at once and save both time and effort. Without a legitimate reason, this idea wouldn't work. Speculation and profiteering were being cracked down on severely right now. If caught, you'd get a bullet. Better make long-term plans. After walking for about 2 hours, he arrived at the county town and went straight to his classmate Jiang Ming's home. Jiang Ming's mother worked at the supply and marketing cooperative, and his father was a grade 3 fitter at the machinery factory. And the family had 2 older brothers and 1 older sister. When he got to the door, he knocked, and Li Youcai called out, "Mingzi, are you home?" "It's me, Li Youcai." The front door creaked open, and out came a skinny teenage boy, about half a head shorter than Li Youcai. He said warmly, "Youcai, you finally came to see me. I've missed you so much. I thought after graduation our friendship would fade." Li Youcai lightly punched him. "I just happened to have time today. Besides, it's too far. Walking back and forth takes 4 or 5 hours, and an empty stomach can't take it. It's enough that I know you haven't forgotten me. You're my best buddy. Come in, quick." The two went inside, and Jiang Ming hurried to pour water. "After walking all this way, I really was thirsty." "You really know me," Li Youcai joked. "Of course," Jiang Ming said smugly. The Chinibu teenager vibe was on full display. Li Youcai took out the canned food and handed it to Jiang Ming. Jiang Ming was unhappy. "Youcai, I think our friendship really has grown distant. You come to my house and still pull this stunt." Jiang Ming knew Li Youcai was from the countryside, and that his family conditions were average. The whole family hardly saw any money all year, and bringing him things meant treating him like an outsider. "Why are we being so polite with each other? My second sister brought this back when she went home. It wasn't bought with money. My second brother-in-law works at a canning factory, okay? Don't treat me like an outsider," Jiang Ming said with wide eyes. The two chatted a while longer, then Li Youcai asked, "Mingzi, have you found a job yet?" "Yeah, pretty much. A temporary job at my dad's factory." "That's not bad either. With your dad there, sooner or later you can become permanent, right? Let me tell you, a few days ago my mom even wanted me and my second brother to go watch a public toilet and scoop excrement. Said it was a permanent job. Beat me to death and I still wouldn't go, and my second brother wouldn't either. We'd rather be temporary workers. Paying money to look for shit. That's exactly what that job is." After saying that, the two burst into laughter. Li Youcai's heart stirred, and he asked, "Mingzi, has that job your mom mentioned been sold yet?" "No, I don't think so. That's actually 2 jobs, watching the toilet and a night soil collector. They want quite a lot of money for it too." "What? You want to do it?" "I'm telling you, if you do that job, you won't be able to find a wife." Li Youcai waved his hand. "I want to ask for my family. You know, no matter what kind of job it is, it's still better than being in the countryside." "You do have a point. Then don't rush off. My mom will be back at noon, and she knows the situation." The two chatted idly for a while. Then Jiang Ming's mother came back. Li Youcai had been here before, so they all knew each other. "Hello, Auntie," Li Youcai greeted her. "Youcai's here? When did you arrive?" Jiang Ming's mother was quite talkative. Mom, he's been here all morning. I have something to ask you." Jiang Ming interrupted. "What is it? All in such a hurry?" Jiang's mom shot Jiang Ming a glare. "Has that toilet job been sold yet?" "What? Do you regret it now? I'm telling you, that third child's job really isn't what you think." Jiang Ming quickly cut in. "I'm not going. I'm asking for Youcai." Li Youcai nodded. Jiang's mom immediately perked up. "Let me tell you, Youcai, all they see is that the job is smelly and dirty. But watching a public toilet and doing a bit of cleaning, how easy is that? Usually no one is even supervising you. What leader has so much free time that they'd stare at a toilet? And that night soil collection job. Now even the farmland in the countryside needs manure coupons to get fertilized. So where would they wait for a collector to do it? Those villages are all lining up to fight over it. No matter what I say, those 2 brats won't listen. They'd rather be temporary workers. Unlike you, you've got an eye for things." Jiang Ming wasn't having it after hearing that. "Mom, why don't you mention not being able to find a wife? Staying there every day, you'd be soaked in the smell. Who would marry me?" Jiang's mother smiled awkwardly. "That's the only drawback. Youcai, which one do you want to do?" "No, I'm asking for my family. Youcai, Annie won't hide it from you. That's 2 jobs, and they aren't being sold separately. The father and son selling the jobs. The old man is about to retire, and he wants to sell both jobs to get his son a different job. I heard they've already picked out the new job, and they're just waiting for these jobs to be sold first. How much are they asking? Youcai asked. A few days ago, they said 800 for the two jobs, 100 cheaper than ordinary positions. But without connections or pull, even if you have money, there's no way to get a quota. People like Jiang Ming and his second brother, these temporary workers, still have a long way to go. Jiang's mother looked disappointed that they hadn't amounted to more. Jiang Ming touched his nose and didn't dare say a word. Auntie, whenever it's convenient for you, please help me ask about it. Whenever you want to ask, Auntie is free. I'll go to their house and ask right now. Just wait here. Jiang's mom said straightforwardly, thinking to herself that Li Youcai's family was surprisingly well off. After Jiang's mom went out, Li Youcai also went out and said to Jiang Ming, I'm going to the toilet. In those days, homes didn't have toilets. Several alleys shared one public toilet. After making a round of it, she took out 10 meat buns and went back. Since she was asking someone to do her a favor, she couldn't very well let them go hungry. Jiang's mom hadn't even had time to cook by the time she got home. She handed the buns to Jiang Ming. I've already eaten. You and Auntie eat. Thanks. Then I won't stand on ceremony with you. You're someone who's about to spend 800 yuan. After all, Jiang Ming joked. Oh wow, they're pork buns, too. They smell amazing. Jiang Ming ate until his mouth was shiny with grease. Jiang's mom came back panting. She went into the room, drank a few sips of water, and said, they're asking for 400 yuan and 200 jin of fine grain now. The job their son found is at the textile factory, and they want grain. What do you think? Do you still want it? Li Youcai thought for a moment and said, Auntie, tell them to keep the job for me. I'll come over at noon the day after tomorrow and bring them money and grain, and have them go directly to the work unit to hand over the job. I'll have to trouble you, Auntie, to keep it for me for the time being. What Li Youcai meant was to hand the money and grain to the middleman first, and only give the goods to the other party after the job was settled. That way, neither side would need to guard against the other. All right, that's no big deal. I'll go tell them after work tonight. Obviously, Jiang's mom understood what he meant too. Then I'll head back first. Auntie, I still need to scrape together money and grain, Li Youcai said. All right then, Auntie won't keep you any longer. Be careful on the road, Youcai. See you the day after tomorrow. After the mother and son saw Li Youcai off, they went back into the room. Jiang Ming quickly handed the buns to his mother. Mom, hurry up and eat. Youcai bought them. You'll be late in a bit. As Jiang's mom ate the buns, she sighed. That child Youcai is really becoming more and more capable. Look how watertight he is in handling things. For such a big matter, he agreed so decisively. Learn from him more. Don't go around acting all foolish every day. How was he foolish? Just because he didn't want to look at manure, that made him foolish? Mom, do you think Youcai's family will agree? Jiang Ming asked when he didn't understand. As long as his family can borrow it, they'll agree 100%. How hard is it for rural people to get into the city and become workers to eat state-supplied grain? Even though people in the city don't get enough to eat either, at least they still have something to eat. In the countryside, people can't even eat what they grow themselves. In times like these, starving to death is normal. The mother and son both felt deeply the same way. Meanwhile, Li Youcai walked along thinking, if he wanted to get money, he'd have to go to the black market. As for the grain, he'd buy it from the mall then. The black market was in a small grove outside the county town. There were people there day and night. The authorities here weren't too strict about it. After all, they had to leave people some way to survive, right? Don't force people to death. Li Youcai got some coal ash and smeared it on his face, mussed up his hair, and even wore his clothes inside out. He had storage space. He actually wasn't too worried, just very curious. In the novels he'd read before, the transmigration crowd was unbelievably awesome in the black market. Basically the male and female lead's personal ATM, sweeping up all the antiques and cultural relics. With dreams in his heart, Li Youcai arrived near the black market, found a deserted spot, and bought an old-style back basket in the mall for 100 points. Damn, it was really expensive, and it even said purely handmade. Huh, what a profiteer. He also bought 20 jin of flour and put it in the basket. When he arrived at the entrance to the grove, a masked, burly man walked over. Buying or selling? Selling. 5 cents. Li Youcai handed over the money, and the burly man went back to squat under the tree without looking at him again. Li Youcai walked in. There was a path down the middle, and on both sides were people setting up stalls. In front of them were baskets, hampers, and things like that. Some had even put up signs, looking to buy grain or sell ration coupons. and some people leaned against big trees, showing the watches on their wrists. They were probably selling watches. Youcai walked around for a while and got a rough understanding of the market. Fine grain generally cost about 2 yuan, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and the like were 50 cents, cornmeal was 1 yuan, and pure corn flour also counted as fine grain, at around 1.7 to 1.8 yuan. Pork was over 3 yuan, and eggs were 20 cents each. If he wanted to sell for more than 400 yuan, he'd have to put out quite a bit of grain, and he was afraid of being targeted. After thinking it over, he quietly put another 10 jin of pork belly into the back basket. This was the bait. Whether anyone would bite depended on luck. He found a spot, set the basket down, and left just a tiny bit of pork exposed. After a while, the guy selling ration coupons strolled over and handed Youcai a Dakiaman cigarette, asking, "Buddy, what are you selling?" Youcai took the cigarette and thanked him, then said, "A pig in our village broke its leg, so we came out to sell some meat." Youcai thought to himself, "He's taken the bait. How many coupons do you have?" The coupon scalper asked in a lowered voice. Youcai played dumb and said, "I've got 10 jin here. Do you want it?" The coupon scalper got anxious. "I'm asking how many jin the pig weighs." "The pig? Probably over 200 jin. Last year's pig, right? We were planning to let it have piglets." "Damn, buddy. Come with me." Youcai stopped playing dumb. If he kept it up, the guy would think he was really stupid and take advantage of him for not knowing the numbers, which would only cause trouble later. After leaving the woods, the two of them came to a secluded spot. "Brother, I won't beat around the bush with you. Sell me your pork, I'll take all of it. I won't shortchange you either. How about 3 yuan per jin after it's dressed?" Without waiting for Youcai to speak, he continued, "I'm not lying to you. If you sell it little by little yourself, you might get a higher price, but it's not safe. I'll make a bit off you, and I'll take that risk. What do you think?" Youcai pretended to think it over. Afraid he wouldn't agree, the coupon scalper continued, "Little brother, the first time we meet we're strangers, the second time we're friends. From now on, when you come to the black market, just look for your big brother. My surname is Chun. I'll make sure you're covered." "All right, brother Chun, I'll sell to you. I also have some flour. Do you want that too?" "There's flour too? What kind of heavenly little brother is this? He really struck gold today. This little brother was his lucky star." "Yes, how much is there?" "About 200 jin of this flour." Youcai took the flour out of the basket. The coupon scalper opened it and took a look. "Not bad. It's fine flour. I'll take it all. I'll give you 2.5 yuan for the flour, all right?" "Brother Chin, do you have a cart?" "Our stuff is over by the riverbank." "I do. Then I'll go get the money now. And when the time comes, cash on delivery." "Brother Chin, I want to trade for some coupons too." "That's perfect. Your brother Chin here specializes in this." The coupon scalper was overjoyed, not expecting to make another deal too. The coupon scalper took an iron box from inside his jacket, neatly filled with all kinds of coupons. Youcai saw cigarette coupons and liquor coupons. He asked, "Brother Chun, cigarette coupons. How much are the liquor coupons?" Youcai was planning to buy some mitai and sell it in the marketplace. In later years, these would be worth a lot. Grade A liquor coupons are 1 yuan each. Grade B liquor coupons are 0.5 yuan each. Bulk liquor coupons are 0.1 yuan each. Grade A cigarette coupons are 0.2 yuan each. Grade B cigarette coupons are 0.1 yuan each. Economy cigarette coupons are 0.01 yuan each. Grade A liquor coupons, Grade A cigarette coupons, and Grade B cigarette coupons. However many you have, I want them all, Youcai told the coupon scalper. The marketplace didn't sell cigarettes, so Youcai wanted more to save and smoke slowly. "No problem. What else do you want?" The coupon scalper replied happily. 10 jin of grain coupons, 2 jin of meat coupons, 2 jin of sugar coupons. Grain coupons and sugar coupons are 1 yuan per jin. Meat coupons are 0.5 yuan per jin. "I only have 1 jin," the coupon scalper said. "Big brother, is it that expensive?" Youcai said in surprise. The coupon scalper gave him a sidelong glance. "Isn't your pork and flour expensive too? Is any food cheap these days?" Youcai wasn't embarrassed either, and asked again, "Do you have a bicycle coupon? Going back and forth to the county seat on Route 11 is too tiring, and the bicycles sold in the system don't have a steel stamp, so they can't be used here." "Yes, 60 yuan. The coupon scalper pulled it out from his inner pocket. "Fine, I'll take it." "Brother Chun, calculate how much it all comes to." Bicycle coupons 60 yuan, grain coupons and sugar coupons 12 yuan, meat coupons 0.5 yuan. 60 grade A liquor coupons, 60 yuan. 60 grade A cigarette coupons, 12 yuan. 80 grade B cigarette coupons, 8 yuan. for a total of 152.5 yuan. Brother, just give me a flat 150. Thanks, Brother Chun. I'll go wait for you over by Ziahian. Alright, see you later. After the two had settled it, Youcai arrived at Ziahian and bought a slaughtered black pig weighing 240 jin in the mall, 15 points per jin. He also bought 180 jin of flour, the same as the 20 jin he had taken out earlier. The flour was 5 points per jin. He also bought an axe for 150 points. After leaving the space, he put the items among the tall weeds, chopped off a piece of pork belly with the axe, and then put the meat back in. He pretended to put the meat he had just taken to the black market back onto the pig. After waiting 20 minutes, he saw the ticket scalper and another man sneaking over while pushing a tricycle. Youcai pointed to where the pork was placed, and the two men took the scale over there. After 2 minutes, the ticket scalper came out. Little brother, 240 jin of pork, 200 jin of flour. Is the count right? The ticket scalper wore a fawning expression, and his form of address became even more familiar. Brother Chun, the count is all correct. The pork is 720, the flour is 500, subtracting those coupons. I'll give you 1,070. With that, he took out a cloth bundle. The two started counting the money. After Youcai took the money and coupons, he said to the ticket scalper, Brother Chun, I'm leaving first. Someone is still waiting for me over there. Brother, you go ahead. If you have any good stuff in the future, come straight to me. Don't worry, your brother here won't shortchange you. Youcai answered okay, waved his hand, and left. He put the money and coupons into the space, made a few loops around, and after finding no one following him, thought to himself that this ticket scalper was all right and they could work together again in the future. Calming himself, he checked the mall's today's transaction amount. 6,513 total transaction amount. 522,173 remaining points. 341,757 ranking. Not yet unlocked, he still hadn't bought today's special flash sale. So he quickly opened today's special offers. Cornmeal, 1 point per jin, limit 50 jin. Braised pig head meat, 1 point per jin, limit 10 jin. He bought everything at the maximum quantity and put it into the space. Now inside the space there were the newly bought 50 jin of cornmeal, 10 jin of braised pig head meat, a back basket, an axe, 10 jin of pork belly, and the 5 jin of eggs from yesterday's flash sale, as well as the money and coupons he had just sold for. After sorting everything out, he hurried to buy a bicycle. It would be quitting time soon. When he arrived at the department store, it was a little after 3 in the afternoon, and there weren't many people inside. He went to the bicycle counter. Miss, are bicycles still for sale? There's still one flying pigeon, 170 yuan. One bicycle coupon. The saleswoman was knitting a sweater and didn't even raise her head. Youcai didn't waste words either. Took out the money and coupon and handed them over. Miss, I want one bicycle. The saleswoman was a little surprised. She took the money and coupon, checked them carefully, and asked, Young man, who are you buying the bicycle for? Youcai replied, I'm buying it for myself. I'm going to start work at the machinery factory next week, and my family scraped together the money to buy it for me. In those days, it wasn't like you could just buy things whenever you had money. Without a proper reason, they might even suspect you were a spy. Seeing Youcai being open and above board, the saleswoman felt there was no problem. She had the cashier issue a receipt, wheeled out the bicycle, and told Youcai that he needed to go to the police station to pay the tax and get the steel stamp. After thanking the saleswoman, Youcai rode the bicycle to the police station, gave the invoice to the clerk, explained the reason for buying the bicycle, paid 2 yuan in tax, and quickly got the steel stamp. Now the bicycle had registration. He got on the bicycle and went to the supply and marketing cooperative. Miss, I want 20 packs of Zhonghua cigarettes and 20 packs of Defengment. Youcai said to the saleswoman. So many? The saleswoman asked. I'm from the machinery factory. Our factory has guests to entertain. Do you have Matai? I also want 10 bottles of Matai. There are only 6 bottles left. Some big leader must be coming if they all have to drink Matai, the saleswoman joked. From the provincial government, they specifically asked for Matai. How much is it? Zhonghua cigarettes are 1 yuan a pack, 1 Class A cigarette coupon. Defengment is 3 mao 5 per pack, 1 Class B cigarette coupon. Matai is 4.5 per bottle. 1 Grade A liquor coupon. The sales clerk rattled away on the abacus. The total came to 54 yuan, 20 Grade A cigarette coupons, 20 Grade B cigarette coupons, and 6 Grade A liquor coupons. After Youcai paid the money and handed over the coupons, he went to the non-staple food counter and bought 2 jin of white rabbit milk candy, spending 5 yuan and 2 jin of candy coupons. He rode his bicycle back to Lijia village. About 1 kilometer from the village, Li Youcai put the bicycle back into his space. He had no job now, and his family did not have the means either. If a bicycle suddenly appeared, it would attract too much attention. In those days, you had to keep a low profile. In the modern world, many young people enjoy blessings they don't deserve. In this era, even without hardship, you still had to force yourself to endure it. The proletariat is the most glorious of all. In a few more years, when the great storm blows in, being a poor peasant will be a life-saving talisman. In other words, you had to be poor. When he got home, they were eating. Li Youcai handed the 20 jin of cornmeal and 2 jin of eggs he had taken out in advance to Wang Fengyun, and gave 1 jin of white rabbit to Little Ya. Little Ya cried out, "Brother, this is white rabbit milk candy, right? I've seen the little grandson at Grandma Zhang's next door eat it before." Wang Fengyun snatched it away, took out 2 pieces for Little Ya, then 2 more for third sister, and gave 1 to Li Taiju. She stuffed the rest back to Li Youcai. "Such precious stuff, don't let them ruin it." Little Ya wasn't upset either, and she and third sister carefully peeled the candy wrappers. Li Youcai peeled one and popped it into Wang Fengyun's mouth, then stuffed the rest back into her hand. Wang Fengyun kept saying, "Don't waste it," but the crow's feet at the corners of her eyes gave away her good mood at that moment. Li Taiju, Little Ya, and third sister were also smiling as they sucked on the candy, reluctant to chew it. Wang Fengyun pulled Li Youcai over and asked, "Son, how did you bring back so much stuff? Traded mountain goods for it?" "Today I met someone who was going away to become an official and wanted to take some local specialties, so he gave me a bit more stuff," Li Youcai bluffed. The whole family believed him. They didn't go out much anyway. As long as what Li Youcai said wasn't too illogical, they believed it all. "Son, you haven't eaten yet, have you? Mom will make you some dough drop soup." "Thanks, Mom, you're the best." Li Youcai started acting spoiled again. Wang Fengyun instantly became full of energy and bustled into the kitchen. The 2 sisters looked at this younger brother with resentment. Brother, he was just too good at sweet-talking people. Mom was practically ready to give him her heart. A small basin of fragrant cornmeal dough drop soup was ready, with 2 poached eggs in it as well. Under his mother's eager gaze, Li Youcai ate heartily, praising it as delicious the whole time, fully delivering the emotional value. The 2 sisters didn't mind that he got special treatment either. After all, he was the only boy in the family, and such a sweet talker. After the meal, Li Youcai said, "Dad, Mom, I have something to tell you." "What is it?" "There's news about a job." Wang Fengyun asked nervously, "It's about a job, but not my job." So Li Youcai told them everything that had happened today at Jiang Ming's house. Wang Fengyun asked her son, "What are you thinking? You don't want to go yourself?" "Dad, Mom, this job isn't suitable for me. I want Dad and third uncle to go." "Mom, do you have any thoughts?" Li Youcai asked for Wang Fengyun's opinion. If Wang Fengyun didn't agree to let third uncle go, Li Youcai would accept that too. It was just that, in the past few days since he came here, he had found third uncle to be a decent person. If his mother had other ideas and wanted someone from their own family to go, he naturally had no objection either. "The most suitable person in our family is your eldest brother-in-law, but your eldest sister just can't stand up for herself. They've been married 6 or 7 years, and she's only come back 5 times. She didn't even come back this new year. And it's not like we want her to come back and bring anything. Just come back and let us see you, so we can feel at ease." What an ungrateful wretch. Raising that daughter was for nothing. I'd give it to anyone but him. Your second brother-in-law has a job, and your third sister is a girl. Give it to the third one. All these years, he's been the one taking care of the 2 elders. Back when our children were little, your third uncle and third aunt have helped out quite a lot. Mentioning her eldest daughter, Wang Fengyun felt very heartbroken. Li Taiju also nodded. Between an unrelated son-in-law and his own younger brother, he would definitely choose his own brother. This also proves that third uncle and third aunt really are very good people. Money is manageable, we can go out and borrow it. But this fine grain is a bit hard to get. Li Taiju muttered, "What's so hard about it? Before doing anything, you already say it's hard. Borrow 1 gene from each family, and I'll go out and borrow it for you too, you useless thing." Wang Fengyun cursed Li Taiju. Looking at it this way, Wang Fengyun was born in the wrong era. With this courage and drive, she would definitely be an entrepreneur. "Mom, Dad, there's one more thing I haven't told you." Li Youcai rubbed his nose. He was about to lie again. His nose wouldn't grow longer, would it? "Well, I dug up a 50-year-old mountain ginseng and sold it in the county town today. It just happened to be exchanged for 200 jin of fine grain, plus 200 yuan. I hid the grain." As he spoke, he took out 200 yuan and handed it to Wang Fengyun. Wang Fengyun clutched her chest. "You child, your guts are sky high. You can make decisions about anything on your own now." "Mom, Wasn't I afraid you'd worry? If I told you, would you still let me go out by myself? Of course not, Wang Fengyun said loudly. Li Taizhu and third sister were also stunned. This child was far too bold, carrying something so valuable into town so brazenly. What if it got lost? What if he got robbed? Xiaoya was still young and only felt that her brother was amazing. She had the most amazing brother. Mom and Dad, should we go discuss it with Grandpa? If we wait a bit longer, they'll be asleep. Li Youcai changed the subject. The whole family hurried to the old house. Seeing the whole family had come, they thought something had happened, and third uncle and third aunt quickly came to the old lady's room too. What happened? Third aunt asked. Don't worry. It's good news, good news. Wang Fengyun smiled from ear to ear. Wang Fengyun told the whole story again, and several people were all stunned. There's really such a good thing? Grandma Li muttered. What kind of incense did we burn to deserve this? I have such a capable grandson. He takes after me. Takes after me. Only this one takes after me. Old man Li puffed on his pipe, making smacking sounds. Mom and Dad, what about this job of yours? City people all think it stinks. Think it stinks? What's there to dislike? We farmers never disdain manure. Which seedling in the fields hasn't had it put on? Which grain has anyone eaten less of because of it? This is a job. An iron rice bowl. Old man Li said excitedly. Is this job really going to be given to the third one? Eldest grandson, you should keep it for yourself, Grandma Li said. Third uncle also nodded and said, you just go yourselves, no need to think about us. If the money isn't enough, I'll go out and scrape some together for you. Third uncle really is a good man, Li Youcai sighed. Grandpa, Grandma, third uncle, third aunt, I really don't want to do this job. Believe me, I can find a job, definitely one better than this. Li Youcai had no choice but to paint a rosy picture. The whole family believed him, and even felt it was only natural. Since the eldest grandson doesn't want to go, then eldest and third, you two go together so you can look out for each other. Eldest will watch the toilet, and third will scoop the manure. Old man Li made the call, and the matter was basically settled. The whole family was very united, all with the temperament to rise to a challenge. The old couple exchanged a glance, and the old lady said, over the years we've saved more than 300 yuan, we'll give it all to you. As for the grain, let the old man go borrow some from the production team. Eldest and third, you go borrow from the village. We women will put aside our pride and go borrow from our natal families. This is a major matter for our family, so don't be embarrassed. We can pay it back. Li Youcai suddenly sighed with emotion. This family really is wonderful. He felt indescribable feelings in his heart. It feels so good for the whole family to work hard together. Wang Fengyun quickly told them again about Li Youcai digging up ginseng and exchanging it for money and grain. Old man Li thought for a while and said, tomorrow we should still go out and borrow. We still need to go out and borrow, but we won't borrow grain, only money. Borrowing grain can easily cause trouble. Everyone should consistently say the job was bought for 800 yuan. Don't let people think it's easy for our family just because we produce 2 workers. It's best to make everyone think our family still won't be able to pay off the debt even after several years. Those of you who should go back to your parents' homes, go back, and when you return, all of you must say you managed to borrow some. Understood? The saying, old people grow shrewd, old horses grow sly really makes sense. No wonder old man Li always lamented that his good genes weren't passed on to his sons. After the few of them discussed it and agreed. First thing tomorrow morning, they would go ask the brigade leader for leave and borrow money. In a matter like this, the brigade leader must be the first to believe it. A dreamless night passed. Early in the morning, Wang Fengyun took third sister and little Ye back to her parents' home. Why did she take them back? In Wang Fengyun's exact words, those 2 simpletons wouldn't even realize if someone tried to trick information out of them, so she'd take them away and keep an eye on them. Then why didn't Li Youcai go? Wang Fengyun said her son had more than 800 tricks up his sleeve, and nobody should even think about taking advantage of him. That's exactly how double standards work. Her favoritism was completely open and unapologetic. Time to get to work. First, check the flash sale specials. Today's deal was apples at 1 point per gene, limit 10 gene. Bananas at 1 point per gene, limit 10 gene. Today was a fruit round, so buy everything at the maximum amount. Eating a banana made his mood absolutely wonderful. For breakfast, he bought a bowl of braised beef noodles and some Happy Fat House water from the mall, spending 25 points. After eating and drinking his fill, he headed up the mountain to check the traps, bringing a shovel and a sickle, planning to dig a few more traps. With his bow and arrows strapped on, he also found a lucky golden gurgling stick at the foot of the mountain and headed straight for the deep mountains. None of the traps yielded anything today. So Li Youcai stuck his butt up and dug a few more deeper in the mountains. The wooden spikes were shaved thin and sharp, and he also bought 100 fresh ears of corn from the mall and scattered them near the traps. Perfect. There would definitely be prey tomorrow. How many could resist the temptation of delicious food? Li Youcai decided to wander over to the water source. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Forget tiger cubs. If he could get a few wild boars, that would be amazing. After walking for about an hour, Li Youcai hid behind a big pine tree, holding the golden gurgling stick in one hand and a leafy branch in the other, just enough to conceal himself. I secretly looked toward the water source. A few rabbits and squirrels drank some water, then hopped away. Li Youcai didn't move. After coming all this way into the mountains, he wanted to catch something big. After waiting a while longer, a family of 3 arrived. One look, and Li Youcai saw they were northeast tigers, scaring his legs into cramps as he dodged into his space. The male tigers circled the spot where Li Youcai had been hiding, then took his wife and child away after they finished drinking. Li Youcai also saw off more than a dozen wolves. It had to be said, these animals were really smart. They all noticed Li Youcai's hiding place. He also saw several foxes. After waiting more than 2 hours, Li Youcai's patience was almost exhausted. What was coming now? Li Youcai rubbed his eyes. Sick of deer. They really were sick of deer. More than a dozen of them, slowly walking over and lowering their heads to drink. Li Youcai held his branch and golden gurgling stick. Honestly, he didn't even know whether the branch was of any use. It was probably just wishful thinking. Half crouching, using the branch to hide himself, he quietly edged closer to the edge of the water source. These deer were drinking spread out. As long as he wasn't discovered, there was still hope of getting one. Li Youcai took a few steps and then stopped, and he wasn't noticed. When he was about 2 meters from the nearest deer, Li Youcai extended his golden gurgling stick. He touched it. Come in, little cutie. Success. At that moment, he felt excitement, tension, and the uneasy fear of being discovered. Then he edged forward another 2 or 3 meters, and the instant the golden gurgling stick touched one, he was discovered. The deer scattered and fled at once. Li Youcai suddenly sprang forward, using the golden gulu rod for leverage to thrust ahead. Touched it, collect. Another one went in. The other deer had already run off. Chasing them was out of the question. Not only would he fail to catch them, it would also be dangerous. He went back to the same old spot to keep waiting, and then he saw another herd of goats. Li Youcai repeated what he had just done, quietly approaching with the 2 magical artifacts. After only a few steps, he was spotted. These things ran even faster and vanished in the blink of an eye. Sigh. There goes the mutton skewers, Li Youcai muttered. He continued. Looking at the 2 deer in his space, Li Youcai grinned foolishly, his confidence soaring. A few more animals came to the creek, and Li Youcai observed them carefully. Why do these look kind of like deer, but also a bit like sheep? Their whole bodies were yellowish-brown. Some had antlers, sort of like deer antlers, and some didn't. These are silly roe deer, right? Wild roe deer meat is especially nutritious. Eating it can strengthen the body and improve health. Roe deer meat is an imperial dish in the Manchuhan imperial feast, so the taste must go without saying. He was practically drooling and wiped the corner of his mouth. They say these things are dumb. So how can you get close to them without them running away? Li Youcai took a few bananas, a few apples, and a few ears of corn and skewered them on branches, like flowers. Holding several in one hand, he walked out from behind a big tree and took a few steps forward. Several silly roe deer noticed him, but they didn't run away. One by one, they stared at the skewers in his hand with big fluffy eyes full of curiosity, their gaze revealing a clear and innocent stupidity. Li Youcai approached with excitement, his hands trembling slightly. The few times he had caught prey before had all been by surprise. Approaching so openly this time still made him very nervous. 2 of the silly roe deer were probably too curious, and actually walked toward Li Youcai. The distance between the man and the 2 beasts grew closer and closer. One silly roe deer tilted its head at him, and one tilted its head at the fruit skewer. They were so adorable that at this moment, Li Youcai felt like eating them would be a crime. Roe deer are so cute. How could anyone eat roe deer? Li Youcai held out the skewer in his hand, and the 2 little cuties vanished without a trace. No matter how dumb the other silly roe deer were, they still noticed something was wrong and took off running. Li Youcai put away the fruit skewers and headed down the mountain. He found a spot with a wide-open view, bought a braised pork rice bowl from the shop, then ate a big chicken drumstick, and finished it off with a happy soda. Another simple meal taken care of. He went to check the 2 traps he had dug earlier and harvested 3 pheasants, 2 rabbits, and several field mice. He put them all into his space, reset the traps, and left plenty of sweet corn too. He was walking down the mountain quickly when, as he walked, he suddenly heard a rustling sound in the grass. Youcai glanced over warily and saw a large snake 2 to 3 meters long, its neck raised high, a triangular head, hissing with its tongue flicking out. Youcai was inwardly shocked out of his wits. This was a cobra about to attack him. Off you go. Youcai dodged into his space. The cobra suddenly lost its target and was confused for a moment, then went back to lying in the grass basking in the sun. Seeing that this fellow didn't seem ready to leave, Youcai hardened his heart, picked up the golden gulu rod, suddenly reappeared, rushed forward, and swung the rod. Just as the cobra was about to raise its neck again, it was touched by the golden gulu rod and taken into the space. Actually, Youcai was quite disgusted by this kind of limbless creature, but when there's a road to heaven it refuses to take it, and with no door to hell it throws itself in. Youcai entered the space. The cicadere and the roe deer lay there obediently, not moving at all. He picked up the axe and chopped down at the snake's vital spot, right over the heart, then chopped off the snake's head, dismembering the cobra. The price of scaring me. He was petty as hell. He took out the back basket, put in a rabbit and a pheasant, and covered them with some grass on top. Then he headed down the mountain. On his way back to the village, he ran into 2 old women sitting under a big tree making shoe saws. Youcai greeted them and was about to keep walking when one of the old women asked, "Your dad and your third uncle really are going to the county town to become workers? The whole village should know about this by now." Youcai replied politely and vaguely, "Maybe so, but they're still short by a lot of money. I don't know if they'll be able to go. Come sit by Grandma and chat with me." Youcai took one look and realized something was off. This was clearly her trying to pry into their family affairs, so he hurriedly said, "Grandma, something this big in the family. What could I, a kid, possibly know? I just know they're short by a lot of money." That's true too. Jobs in the county town aren't that easy to get. Even selling the house and land wouldn't be enough to buy them. How much money has your grandpa borrowed? Grandma, I really don't know. I just got back from the mountain. I'm leaving now, we'll chat next time. After saying that, Youcai left, but he could still hear the 2 old women gossiping about his family. The Oldley family has some luck. If it were just one job, they might be able to scrape enough together. Didn't you hear what they said? It's for father and son. They have to be bought together. They won't sell just one. Do you think the Oldley family can come up with enough? Didn't you see? They've all gone out to borrow money. Even the old lady and the daughters-in-law went back to their maiden homes to borrow. Even if they do scrape enough together, they won't recover for 3 to 5 years. Youcai sighed. His grandpa's publicity work was really thorough. He had considered everything from every angle. I really am like my grandpa. He came to the 2 thatched huts at the south end of the village. This was the home of Old Man Wong, who had taught the original owner how to hunt. It was said that when he was young, Old Man Wong had fought the Japanese, injured his leg, and for some unknown reason came to leave family village. The old man had no children, and he liked the original owner very much, so they became kin by oath. The old man also taught the original owner his hunting skills. The 2 Li Taiju brothers would often come help out as well, and the 2 families were very close. "Godpa, are you home?" Youcai called out. Here, my grandson is here. Come in quick." Old Man Wong came out cheerfully. Aside from limping a little on one leg, he was in very good spirits. "Haven't seen you for a few days, and my grandson has gotten taller again." The old man's eyes were full of satisfaction as he looked at Youcai. The 2 went inside, and Old Man Wong got straight to the point. "I heard from the villagers. Your dad and your third uncle found 2 jobs in the county town?" Youcai nodded. "Your grandpa and your dad have been borrowing money all over the village. I've been waiting at home for most of the day, but they still haven't come, so they're treating me like an outsider." Youcai hurried to speak. "Godpa, it's not like that." The old man waved his hand, cutting him off, and handed him a cloth bag from the Kong. "I don't have much either, but I was planning to leave it to you anyway. Take it and let your dad, that bastard, buy the job. It's no use for me to keep money. When I die, the government will take care of the burial." Youcai was so moved his tears were almost falling, and choked out, "Godpa, I'll take care of you in your old age. You must take good care of yourself. In a couple of years, when I get married, you can help me look after the children and teach my son how to hunt." Good. I still want to take care of my great-grandson. Hurry and put the money away, and tell your dad to save more money for your wedding. Godpa, there's really no need." Then he told the old man everything exactly as it was, including Grandpa's plan. "Your grandpa, that old fox, handled this matter well. That money won't be needed. I'll keep saving it for you to get a wife." The old man laughed as he scolded him. Li Youcai quickly nodded. Godpa, I caught a pheasant and a rabbit today. You keep them to go with your drink. An old man like me can't eat that much, the old man declined. Grandpa, our family can't eat meat right now, Li Youcai said with a bitter smile. The whole village is lending us money. And you still want lavish meals. Do you think we're not short of money, or what? Fair enough, then Grandpa will keep it. When you go back to the village, just say I gave you the money. This is such a big matter. Those long-tongued women in the village will definitely gossip. When the time comes, if they find out you didn't borrow much money, there'll be trouble. Li Youcai nodded in agreement. The villagers aren't well off, so they can't lend much anyway. And whether there'll be anything from Grandma's side of the family is still unknown. It's safer to put it that way. After chatting with the old man for a while, Li Youcai headed back. On the way home, Li Youcai felt that everything that had happened in the modern world was like a dream. This place was his real home. As for the family here, he didn't feel any unfamiliarity despite just meeting them. They felt very close, and he enjoyed it very much. When he got home and entered the courtyard, he saw a young woman sitting under the eaves. She was quite pretty, with one long braid, and looked neat and capable. Little brother, you're back. Where did you go? Second sister, when did you get back? I went up the mountain. This was the original body's second sister, married for only a year and still without children. And in his memories, she treated him extremely well. There's a modern term that suited her perfectly, a brother-supporting fanatic. If she had even a little something good, she'd think of giving it to her younger brother, secretly slipping him pocket money in private. She was basically a second Wang Fengyun. And among his sisters, he felt the deepest affection for her. I got here a little while ago. This morning, I saw the brigade leader at the commune, and he said Dad and third uncle found work in the county town. Is that true? It's true. Second sister, then did Dad and Mom go out to borrow money? Mom took little Ya and third sister back to her parents' home. Dad probably went to Annie's place. Second sister pulled out a stack of money from the inner pocket of her clothes. Some 10 yuan bills and some 5 yuan bills, tied together with a rubber band. There's 200 yuan here. My mother-in-law gave it to me. If it's not enough, my mother-in-law said she'd go out and help our family borrow some more. Li Youcai quickly said, Second sister, our family has money. Take this money back. Times are so hard right now, yet she can still take out this much to help her in-laws. Second sister really did marry well. Li Youcai then quietly told second sister the whole story again. Little brother, how are you so amazing? You should go do that job yourself. Those job quotas are really hard to get right now. Second sister, if I do that job, I won't be able to find a wife. Don't worry, I can find someone even better. Second sister burst out laughing. That does make a bit of sense, huh? My little brother is so capable, he'll definitely find someone even better. A brainless younger brother doting maniac, blindly confident. Li Youcai had only just started painting a rosy picture, and she'd already gotten carried away by it. Second sister, are you going back today? No. I told your brother-in-law I'm staying home for 2 days. And I'll go back after Dad's matter is settled. Second sister said, I'm going to cook. Mom and Dad should be back soon too. I'll help you tend the fire. Li Youcai was about to go help. No need for you to do this little bit of work. Just rest here. In second sister's eyes, he was basically a giant baby. Brother, I'm back. Little Ya is back, followed by Wang Fengyun and third sister, though none of them looked very well. Hearing the voices, second sister hurried out of the kitchen. Mom. Third sister, little sister. When Wang Fengyun saw her second daughter had returned, her expression improved a little, and she asked, Second girl, when did you get back? Second sister explained why she had come back. Third sister said indignantly, Mom. Look, those people from Grandma's side aren't even as good as my second sister's mother-in-law. Fine if they won't lend money, but they even want to give the job to them? How can they have the nerve? Wang Fengyun shot her third daughter a glare. Don't talk about your elders like that. You're getting out of hand. I don't have elders like that. Second sister, little brother, let me tell you, when Mom told Grandma and eldest uncle that she wanted to borrow money, that eldest aunt was making snide remarks there, saying Mom doesn't care about her natal family, that Dad is already so old, so why should he still go to work, and that the job should be given to her younger brother-in-law instead. It ought to go to his son. Grandma also said it should go to eldest cousin. She complained that Mom was siding with outsiders, and eldest uncle didn't say a word there either. Is our old Leaf family out of people, that it should be their family's turn? Mom, don't ask me to go to their house again. Third sister finished angrily, then turned and went back to her room. I'm not going either. They treat me badly and ignore me. Little Ya chimed in as well. Li Youcai agreed too. Even kids know how to read people's expressions. And when people don't welcome you, why go looking for suffering? Wang Fengyun, such a strong-willed person, silently wiped away her tears. These were her relatives, and as children, they had no way to comfort her. After the mother and children finished eating, they chatted while waiting for Li Taizhu to come back. Li Xiaoyuan ran into the courtyard. "Annie, big brother, my grandpa wants you all to come over." The family hurried to the old house. Old man Li sat on the kong and asked how today's matters had been handled. Old Mrs. Li took out 100 yuan and put it on the kong table, saying, "Eldest, third, this is what your uncle gave. He said you don't need to pay it back. A maternal uncle is especially close to his sister's children. As your uncle, this is what he should contribute. If you make something of yourselves in the future, just bring him some liquor during the holidays." Li Taizhu and Li Xuanzhu quickly said they couldn't take this money, that they appreciated uncle's kindness, and that they would visit often during the new year and other holidays in the future. Old Mrs. Li said, "Since your uncle gave it to you, just take it for now. As for the future, you can decide what to do yourselves." The two brothers hurriedly nodded in agreement, telling their mother not to worry. Old man Li took out a stack of money, including 10 yuan, 5 yuan, 1 yuan, and 5 jiao bills. "Here is 153 yuan. 50 yuan was lent by the brigade leader, and the rest was scraped together by the villagers, young and old." The old man took out another notebook. It was an IOU. Everyone nodded. This was all goodwill, weighty with feeling. Third aunt chimed in. "My natal family isn't well off. They scraped together 30 for me." As she spoke, she also put the money on the table. There were even 1 jiao and 2 jiao notes in it. It was clear they had truly done their best. Wang Fengyun said awkwardly, "My natal family isn't doing well either. They don't have much money on hand, so I didn't borrow any." Wang Fengyun spoke dejectedly. Third sister and little Ya also said nothing and didn't expose their mom. Everyone present understood the truth. Zhongren looked at Li Taizhu again. The old couple also had 2 daughters, one the eldest and one the youngest. Li Taizhu took out 15 yuan, put it on the table, and said, "This is what little sister gave. Her life is pretty hard too." "And your eldest sister?" Old man Li asked. "My eldest sister said, if the job is given to her son, then she'll lend it." Li Taizhu was an honest man. He said whatever there was to say and had no idea how to put it tactfully. Old Mrs. Li slapped the kong table in anger. "She's daydreaming. Why doesn't she just go to heaven? Give the job to her son? I have sons and grandsons of my own. How could it possibly be his turn? What surname does her son have? Doesn't she have any sense of that?" The old lady started cursing loudly. Listening to the old lady curse, Wang Fengyun felt as if she were being scolded too. She kept her head down and didn't dare breathe loudly. "Enough. We're talking about serious business. Wait until everyone leaves. Then you can curse all you want." Old man Li said to the old lady. Li Youcai also told them about godfather and second sister. Old man Li said, "Second girl married well. Live a good life from now on. Be filial to your parents-in-law, and don't waste their goodwill." Second sister quickly nodded. The old man continued, "Eldest, your family has to support old man Wang in his old age. You've received his kindness, so you must repay it." That old man truly dotes on Youcai, as if he were his own grandson. Li Taizhu and Li Youcai nodded, telling the old man not to worry. They definitely would not be ungrateful. Old man Li took out 300 yuan, then added the 100 yuan from the old lady's natal family and put them together, saying, "These 400 yuan are from me and the old lady." The grain was contributed by Youcai, and that grain could sell for at least 500 yuan on the black market. Third, you give Youcai 250 yuan. Li Youcai quickly waved his hand and said no. Even between brothers, accounts should be clear. We can't let a junior like you pay. Your third uncle doesn't have the money right now. Once he gets paid, he'll pay you back little by little. Your third uncle and third aunt also quickly said that they should pay, not giving Li Youcai a chance to refuse. They would repay the rest of the borrowed money bit by bit over the next few months. Relatives have degrees of closeness, and friends vary in how deep their bonds are. From now on, you should all keep that in mind. Those who have helped our family, you must remember them and never forget their kindness." Old man Li earnestly instructed them, then said, "Go on back. Set out early tomorrow." Old lady Li started shooing people away. She was still holding in her anger. Nothing was said that night. Early the next morning, Li Taizhu, Li Xuanzhu, and Li Youcai set off for the county town. 2 hours later, Li Youcai felt like his legs had gotten a whole lot thinner. When they reached the riverbank, Li Youcai put down 100 jin of rice and 100 jin of flour in the tall grass, covering them with straw. He called the Li Taizhu brothers over. "Dad, third uncle, wait here for me. I'll go borrow a tricycle. We can't just carry the grain out like this." The two brothers both nodded in agreement, and Li Youcai headed back toward the black market. Wondering whether there would be anyone at the black market this early, and whether that ticket scalper would be there. Li Youcai entered the black market empty-handed, and no one stopped him. He walked straight inside, and really did see the ticket scalper dozing against a tree. He walked over and lightly patted him. "Brother Chun." The ticket scalper opened his eyes. "Yo, brother, you're here. Buying something or selling?" The ticket scalper said excitedly. In another half hour, he would have gone home. He hadn't expected to run into a big customer again. "The goods I gave you the day before yesterday, you sold them all?" Li Youcai asked in surprise. "Oh, little brother, that little bit of stuff. In a county this big, what could it possibly amount to? There are plenty of rich people. As long as the goods are good, there's no need to worry about selling them," the ticket scalper explained. "Brother Chen, can I borrow your tricycle?" "Sure, that's no problem. Take it and use it." "Come on, I'll take you to get it." The ticket scalper couldn't have been more straightforward. At a small courtyard not far outside the black market, the ticket scalper gave the tricycle to Li Youcai and asked, "Brother, can your big brother ask what you're hauling?" "Don't worry, my lips are sealed tight." Li Youcai didn't hide it from him either, borrowing someone else's cart. They were taking a risk too, hauling some grain. The ticket scalper grabbed Li Youcai's hand, his eyes full of eagerness. "Is there a share for me? How much do you want?" "However much you have. 300 jin of rice, is that enough?" "Enough, enough. Thanks, brother. This is my home. I'll wait for you here." That look in his eyes was like a young couple reluctant to part. Li Youcai shuddered in disgust and hurried off. When he got to the riverbank, he loaded up the grain, covered it with straw, and went straight to Jiang Ming's house. "Mingzi, I'm here," Li Youcai called out. Jiang Ming opened the door from inside. "Youcai, so early." Jiang Ming greeted him. The group pulled the tricycle into the yard, and Jiang's mother came out too. Li Youcai made the introductions and said, "Annie, here is 100 jin of rice and 100 jin of white flour. Please take a look." Jiang's mother did not decline either. It wasn't easy being the middleman, so she had to inspect things clearly and explain everything plainly to the other party. Li Youcai took out 400 yuan and handed it to Jiang's mother as well. "Auntie, please also keep this money for us. Sorry for the trouble." "It's no trouble at all. This rice and white flour are really good. You wait at home. I'll call that father and son over, and you can handle the procedures directly. After it's done, have them come to my house to collect the money and grain. Once I've called them over, I'll head straight to work. So I won't stay with you." Li Youcai and the other two quickly expressed their thanks. "All right, I'm off first. I'll be late in a bit." With that, she hurried away briskly. Half an hour later, that father and son arrived. After exchanging a few pleasantries, they went straight to the sub-district office to handle the procedures. Li Youcai slipped 2 packs of Huazi cigarettes into Lu Tieju's and Li Xuanju's hands. The father and son brought them to the office of the sub-district director, saying, "Director Zhang, these two are my nephews. My sons and my jobs are to be transferred to them. Sorry to trouble you with the paperwork." The sub-district director was a middle-aged man in his 40s, wearing glasses and looking refined and gentle. Li Xuanju hurried forward to offer Director Zhang a cigarette, then placed the cigarette pack on the table. "Have you thought it through?" Director Zhang asked the father and son. "We've thought it through, Director Zhang." "Then give them the jobs. These days buying and selling isn't allowed. They can only be given away for free. But everyone knows what's really going on." Director Zhang sized up Li Taizhu and Li Xuanju, seeming quite satisfied, and asked some more about the two men's family situation. He took out the registration form for transferring the positions, had all 4 of them sign and press their fingerprints, then told the father and son to leave first. Director Zhang then took out several more registration forms required for onboarding, and the 2 of them filled them out. Then Director Zhang said to them, "Since you've just started, you'll receive apprentice wages, 18 yuan 5 per month. And after 1 year, you'll become regular employees. At that time, your wage will be 22 yuan 5. This job of yours doesn't require much technical skill, so basically it will be hard to get any more raises. Li Taizhu, you'll be responsible for the public toilet behind the department store. That public toilet belongs to our sub-district. Your working hours every day are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., with a 1-hour lunch break. The public toilet needs to be locked the rest of the time. Your duties are to keep the inside and outside of the toilet clean and not let people relieve themselves or spit anywhere they please. Most importantly, watch out for thieves and don't let the feces be stolen." Li Youcai was stunned. People even steal feces? What would they steal that for? Such a special hobby. Seeing the look of disbelief on Li Youcai's face, Director Zhang said with a smile, "A crop blooms only with manure as its master. There is so much farmland around this county seat, where isn't manure needed? There are only so many people in the county seat, so the supply can't keep up." Li Youcai was completely floored by the phrase, "the supply can't keep up." Director Zhang then said to Li Xuanju, Li Xuanju, your working hours are also 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, with a 1-hour lunch break. Your main job is to be responsible for night soil collection work for our entire subdistrict. You'll also have a partner, and you'll meet him once you start work. Although you're in charge of night soil collection, this stuff is actually in short supply right now. Each village has to bring night soil coupons before it can be given to them. You need to keep good records. Actually, they are the main force doing the collection, so this job is still quite easy. If there are no problems, you can officially start work the day after tomorrow. Director Zhang said. Director, may I ask how food and lodging will be arranged? Li Youcai asked on behalf of the two men. The subdistrict has several public properties. If you need one, you can rent it. Okay, we want to rent, Li Taiju said. All right, I'll have someone take you to look at them in a moment. As for food, you'll have to sort that out yourselves. Our subdistrict doesn't have a cafeteria. In a bit, take your work certificate to the village to move your household registration out and transfer it to our subdistrict. And then you'll have a grain ration supply. The Li Taiju brothers were full of excitement. They were going to become city people too and eat ration grain. Once everything had been settled, Director Zhang called out toward the door. Officer Wu, come in for a moment. A woman cadre in her 30s came in from outside. Director, you were looking for me? Director Zhang introduced her, saying, This is Officer Wu from our subdistrict, mainly responsible for handling neighbor relations. These two are our new colleagues. This is Li Taiju, responsible for managing the public toilet at the department store, and this is Li Xuanju, responsible for the night soil collection work in our subdistrict. The two of them need a place to live, so in a moment you take them to have a look. The few of them nodded to each other in greeting. Okay, Director, then we'll head out first, Officer Wu said. After saying goodbye to Director Wu, the group came to Officer Wu's desk. Officer Wu asked them to sit down and said, At present there are 3 units in the subdistrict suitable for you to live in. Since there are 2 of you, you can be considered 2 households, so you can rent a standalone courtyard residence without having to arrange a shared rental. The first one has 2 rooms, one of which is the kitchen. This one is small, and the monthly rent is 1 yuan. The second one has 3 main rooms, 2 side rooms, and a separate kitchen. The rent for this unit is 5 yuan per month. If your family members are coming to live here, this one would be more suitable. The third one has 3 main rooms, but the house is quite old. The roof needs some repairs, of course, so this one is a bit cheaper, 2.5 yuan per month. Do you all want to take a look, or the second one? Then, Li Youcai decided on the spot. He wanted Xiaoya and Xiao Yuan to come to the county town for school, and he himself would come over after a while too, so it would be better to choose a bigger place. The 2 old brothers looked at each other. They had wanted to choose the first one, but neither of them spoke, letting Li Youcai make the decision. When they left home that morning, Old Man Li had told the 2 of them to listen to Youcai if anything came up. Officer Wu took the keys and led the group to see the house. At the entrance was a black wooden gate and walls of gray brick, with shards of glass embedded on top. From outside, you couldn't see into the courtyard. Opening the gate, there were 3 main rooms, and the 2 side rooms on the left were all gray brick tiled houses. On the right were a kitchen and a firewood shed. The courtyard was 60 to 70 square meters, and the ground was also paved with gray bricks. The house had been kept in very good condition. When they opened the main rooms and side rooms, there was still a small amount of furniture inside, and the kangs in each room were flat and neat. There were 2 stoves in the kitchen, but no iron wok. In the backyard was a small vegetable garden and a dry toilet. Officer Wu said this house had originally been built by a capitalist for his mistress, but not long after she moved in, the capitalist ran away with her, and the house then came under our neighborhood office. In our county town, houses with a courtyard and vegetable garden like this are very rare. And in our neighborhood office, there's only this row of them, 7 or 8 households. The rest are all row houses, and their courtyards are only a dozen or so square meters, so the rent here is a bit more expensive. If you weren't 2 households, I wouldn't even be able to show it to you. What do you think? Li Youcai was quite satisfied. Officer Wu's sales pitch had been very successful. These days, there were far too few people willing to spend 5 yuan to rent a house. He took out 5 yuan and handed it to Officer Wu. We'll rent this courtyard, then. Thank you. Officer Wu happily accepted the money, completed the registration, and left in great satisfaction. This house had never been rented out since it came under their neighborhood office. Although the house was very good, people nowadays couldn't even get enough to eat, so where they lived wasn't all that important.